Welcome back, and joining me now is Ntsika Ntsokolo from Sasfin Wealth to take us through today's market moves. Ntsika, thank you so much for your time today. Let's start over in the US. Nvidia out with results after market close yesterday. Bumper numbers, outlook for Q1 and the rest of the year also upbeat, but that not enough to impress investors. I think the last time I checked, the share price was in the red. When we were going through the boards there, the Nasdaq leading the losses over in the US. What is going on?
Afternoon, darling. Thank you so much for having me on. And to your point, I don't know what investors are looking for. Look, we're talking about a revenue number for Q4 alone that was up 73% quarter on quarter. Net income was up about 94% year on year. Data center spend came in at $62 billion just for the quarter. Really, really great set of numbers. Off a very strong base, mind you. So all in all, I think investors probably digesting the numbers and probably looking forward to really thinking what comes next in the AI play. But whilst it trades at a 20 times multiple, I still think lots of value for investors. Certainly, muted from the levels that I believe that the share should be trading at.
Yeah, I mean, the share price down 4.6% as we speak. And I'm wondering whether those concerns around Nvidia being overvalued are coming back to the table.
I think investors are, don't know what good news to digest.
Okay.
People, you look further down the value chain, you look at things like Vertiv trading at, far higher multiples, and they basically just do the cooling for the same chips that Nvidia has. And I mean, I think Nvidia is a very rough share and holds up so much of the US market. I'm not surprised a little bit of profit taking, but I think the fundamentals are still broadly there.
All right, let's bring it back home, looking at some of the trading updates and earnings out today. How are you making sense of Nedbank's update? Not much meat there, but we do know that HEPS are likely to rise by as much as 3%, but basic earnings per share likely to plunge by over 50%. This, of course, on the back of its disposal of EcoBank. Markets, however, pretty impressed, I think, looking ahead, looking at the outlook and I guess what could come through from its venture into Kenya.
No, certainly. I think a lot of the bad news is in the base when it comes to Nedbank and this EcoBank transaction. I think it's finally starting to come through in the EPS and the net numbers. And I think what investors are, again, certainly to your point, are looking forward to say, where's the next growth coming from? And when you look at all the other banks and the relative multiples that are trading and in terms of growth outlooks, Nedbank certainly still does lag its peers. So one that can re-rate just from a self-help story.
All right. Sticking in financial services, Discovery Bank turning a profit and giving the group as a whole a boost. Your take there, right? Could Discovery Bank really challenge these big players in the medium to long term? Also keeping in mind that South Africans are multi-bank consumers, mainly due to benefits. And listen, hey, those Discovery Bank benefits are very juicy.
No, certainly. I think, Discovery certainly, benefits from the ecosystem that it functions in. I mean, if you're in Vitality, as well as getting points for this, and as well if you're shopping there for that, all in all, it does serve you as a customer who is insured by Discovery, perhaps to even bank with them. And certainly as they see your financial income and have better visibility of your income, you get great rates. So, but certainly 1,500, clients per day, that's far ahead of, I think, what we anticipated, and probably deserve this 8% bump in the market today.
You know what Discovery reminds me of? Something totally different, but in a sense of trying to keep their consumer within the ecosystem. Apple, once you get one device, you literally want to get everything else. All right.
No, certainly. You find yourself,
No, you can go on.
Oh, no, certainly. I was going to say to your exact same point, then the exit fees become difficult. You'll, be penalized on your insurance rate. You'll be penalized on your lending fees. So it really is better off to just kind of go all in if you do pick the ecosystems.
All right, let's shift focus to the retail sector. Truworths posting tepid growth. Profit was up, about 1.3%, despite the lackluster showing. The markets or the share price in the green. I don't know how you're making sense of that. What are investors seeing that I'm not seeing? Was all the bad news priced in already?
I think so. I think
Okay.
the retailers have been really beat up. I mean,
Yeah,
you look at
yeah.
Truworths and Foschini, you're looking at about 50% down on a 12-month view. I just don't think there can be any more stripped away from the lack of South African growth. But the fact that they posted positive numbers and they seem to be certainly pointing in the right direction coming into the next year, I think all of our retailers did well today. And, thank God.
Yeah, just on retailers, I'd like to get your. All right, quickly, because I'm being told that we're running out of time. How would you view the budget? Right, the consensus was that it was market positive, but we didn't see that filtering through to the SA Inc. stocks. Banks were down, retailers were down as well.
I think it's a tough story. I think people were anticipating more in terms of a tax hit, and that in and of itself meant that I think our global sentiment or South African sentiment was certainly lifted. But to your point, I didn't see too much to reinforce
Yeah.
growth within the economy and get us past a sub 1% growth rate.
All right, let's get your stock pick. Where are you seeing value at the moment?
I continue to see it in BHP. It's a stock that's up over 30% or so for the year to date. And again, on the back of copper and the demand for copper globally, I think as data centers continue to be a thing, autonomous vehicles and EV vehicles continue to be a theme, your copper demand is going to stay high. And BHP is one of the best ways to play it on the JSE.
All right, let's leave it there. Ntsika, thank you so much for your time and taking us through trade this evening. That was Ntsika Ntsokolo from Sasfin Wealth.